Hello.
Hello?
Hello. What's up, bro?
Hey, it's the What's Up Bro podcast. We talk movies, sports, TV shows, pop culture, and it's funny, motherfuckers. With nary signs. I'm like, what? How can this... They have Photoshop. Photoshop exists when this artist rendition was done. How the fuck is this not cooler looking than a sketch that looks like it was done by a hillbilly off the side of the road? What the fuck are we talking? Why is this a thing?
Welcome to the party, pal.
Steph, Onion Mayor Sr.
Yeah, I don't have to look for you.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
And Mike Markadal.
I'm just glad I like vanilla boring sex like this. I'm glad that the sex I enjoy won't get me killed.
That's how winning is done.
Hey, I'm Dave Chappelle, and this is What's Up, Bro.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the What's Up, Bro podcast, the only podcast on the internet that dares to ask the question, what's up, bro? Hi, my name is Mike Markadal. With me, as always, is...
Nary signs. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that actually guy, but we have recently come to learn of another podcast who has not only stolen our name, but also our intro music.
That is correct. They have literally duplicated the name and intro music of this podcast for some reason.
It's the weirdest thing, and it's one of those things where you can't even say like, "Oh, we have been posting on YouTube for years longer than they have." Yeah. And we have been posting on audio for like half a decade longer than that. Right. So it's not like there was a coincidental. It was like they flat out started like a year and a half ago. Yeah. And they were like, "What's up, bro?" And then there are religious podcasts, which is I find
a religious podcast. That's so funny to me that it's a religious podcast that is literally like, "What's up, bro?"
Yeah, and they're in the Philippines. They're in the Philippines.
So it does have really strong like youth pastor vibes where they're like, you know who else asked what's up, bro? Jesus. you know
it gives me that vibe. It gives me that vibe. Remember that episode of The Simpsons? Was it The Simpsons? Where the guy, I think it was The Simpsons or Family Guy, where they had a speaker. The kids had a speaker, and then he sat down with the chair backwards.
Yes. Yeah.
And then people are like, "Oh, he's sitting like a young guy. I'm gonna listen to him." And that's
completely different set of bro vibes.
Yeah, it very much has the vibes of Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker in the last installment of the Spider-Man movies.
You mean
remember when when he was all dressed up and they were like, "Why are you dressed like a youth pastor?"
Youth pastor, strong youth pastor vibes. But yeah. Anyway, I mean, like, look, what's up, bro? We know what it's about. You know what it's about. Go watch the last episode, and that way you can kind of be brought into the what's up, bro energy of what we're talking about. Today, we're doing our week late Oscars recap because we have to figure all that out. We have to address who won. We are hyper competitive individuals. It does not work if we do not compete. Also, we're going to talk about the Dade County Youth Fair, which you went to with your family just the other day.
First time in a long time.
We'll get into it, and then also we got some brackets, baby. We're going to talk about.
We're March. It's a March Madness.
Much like every other entity on Earth, we're using a bracket format in the month of March. We are. Hold on, let me find
I wonder where that started.
March Madness. Yeah, I wonder, but I also wonder, like,
we're calling ours March Mayhem because it is mayhem up in this piece. That's what we're calling it because trademarks. Because trademarks.
because trademark. Yeah, that's like when everybody calls the Super Bowl the big game.
Yeah,
It's
the
like,
big game.
like, I hate it. Like, just lean into it. Like, what are you gonna do? You know, like, what are they gonna
They're
do?
gonna get
Sue you?
sued. Yes.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably get real sued. But yeah, no, we're it's so fun. Like everything that has the TM afterwards and the little copyright and all that stuff that you can't use. We should just start throwing that shit on everything.
I do have actual trademarks on a couple of things. I have trademarks on my name, and I have trademarks on Nary Science Comedy. I do. And because not that I ever need it, but it was because when I registered my website 14, 15 years ago, they're like, we have a package where you could throw in a trademark. And I was like, yes, let's throw that in. And so now I'm doing that.
Well,
so.
you would. I do like that it is the extra value meal #1 combo of
it is. Do you want to upgrade?
Other things.
Do you want to supersize your fries? I was like, do you want to get a trademark with this package? I'm like, yes, I do. As a matter of fact,
I absolutely do. Oh, we're getting comments. Tanya Valls, hey, that's my mom. Hi, hey, mom.
Hey, Tanya.
We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We are live on Twitch, and all of them come to us through our sponsor, StreamYard.com. Everybody, thank you to our sponsor, StreamYard.com, for letting this happen. This podcast has been a strong supporter of us from the very beginning. StreamYard, thank you so much for funding us, because you're giving us millions of dollars for this podcast. Super high quality, high budget stuff.
Go to StreamYard.com/ use the code WuBro.
Yeah, use the promo code WuBro to get absolutely nothing.
I can't wait for somebody to try it and be like, I don't know why
isn't that working? Also, if you have any ideas for the show, or you want to be a part of the show and you'd like to contribute some content to the show, you can email us at wubropod@gmail.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at wubropod. And if you're watching right now, get in the comments, and we can talk about, or you can join in the conversation with what we're doing here. And cut for the sharing on social media element, where we can use that as a little tag. And you know how like they do the and clap. Let's talk about the Oscars. We're a week removed from it, but the one thing that I will say is, boy, is that Ryan Gosling talented.
Oh, super talented.
He should host the whole thing.
I got to be honest with you. So a few years ago, it wasn't up until like a couple years ago that I always saw Ryan Gosling as a super talented and super great actor or whatever, and obviously beautiful. But I saw him as a reserved.
Obviously.
I saw him as a reserved kind of guy, like not really. And then I don't know what it's been, but maybe because of the Barbie movie. But in that run of interviews. Since the movie came out or whatever, like he is so amazingly charismatic that I'm just like, has this guy always been this way? Because I always saw him, like I remember him in Ryan Reynolds, and I remember Ryan Reynolds being the goofball. Like that's the way I thought of it in my head. Ryan Reynolds is the fun-loving guy, and Ryan Gosling is cool, but he's not really the outgoing. He's just more like the laid-back guy.
Ryan Reynolds. Right? Well, I guess that's the thing, right? Like everybody confuses Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Gosling or whatever. They mix the names up. They don't really look all that alike, I don't think.
They're two beautiful Ryans. I mean, really, that's what you're getting.
Two beautiful Ryans. But I will say, like, one of my favorite things is watching someone who is just naturally charming. Like, do you remember when Anne Hathaway hosted the Oscars? Yes. Do you remember when Anne Hathaway hosted the Oscars with James Franco?
Oh, yes. Yes.
James Franco is the opposite of Ryan Gosling.
The opposite.
James
in
Franco,
every way possible. In every way
possible. James Franco, problematic. Scandal noted.
Did you see the next year, the awards next year, the following year after that? I forgot. Oh, it was Tina Fey. It wasn't the Oscars. It was the Golden Globes. Tina Fey and what's her name?
Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler hosted.
They're great too.
They were great. And they said they did they were talking about the ones who got nominated for Best Musical, and Anne was nominated for Best Musical, and in Les Mis, and they did a close up, and they said Anne Hathaway hasn't felt that alone since she hosted the Oscars with James Franco, and Anne Hathaway couldn't figure out where to put her face because she's like, that is hilarious, but I don't want to hurt feelings, but that is hilarious. Yeah,
I don't want to hurt feelings, but that is hilarious. Is like the ultimate cut to the camera, cut to the audience thing in the Oscars, where someone's like, who was it that said that they were like trying to hold it together during the Oscars, or something? They announced that they didn't win their category. Fuck, I can't remember what it was. Anyway, Jimmy Kimmel as host of the Oscars, fine. Ryan Gosling has like that charisma that like. And it's understated.
I think The Rock, John Cena, Ryan. I mean, these are all super charismatic people that I think could do an amazing job. I will say I'm a fan of Jimmy Kimmel's, and Jimmy Kimmel has done excellent hosting jobs in the past. Not this year. This year was just like very mid.
This year was
like there was. Yeah. I don't think he did bad. He didn't do like Joe Coy level, but it was. But he wasn't. It was. I think you need somebody like a Ryan Gosling. I need somebody like The Rock. John Cena in that one segment stole the show, bro.
Yeah. That one, John. I look. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this as somebody who this is gonna hurt me to say. The Rock has lost his. He's overrated now. The Rock is not the Rock of old. He is not.
Stop it. You're ridiculous now. You're moving on to.
The Rock has moved on from himself. He is not worth the price of his price of admission.
His price of admission is Netflix. I think it's fine. I think it's included. His price of admission is included.
Is in the house. I do think that he would be a good host, but I also think he's too full of himself to take the job. Right, like it's like I don't think it would be. I think that Ryan Gosling, here's the thing. Everything about the Oscars this year felt very kind of like the shine is off. I don't know, it's because we're older now or it's post-pandemic, but everything was kind of like except for the Barbie musical number that was and John Cena having fun. Like everybody would like. It was fucking fun, you know.
And Nick Cage telling what's his name, would I have done that whole contact thing? Goddamn right I will.
You got that right. Yeah, of course I would. Yeah, but you did it too, and you should get credit for it. I'm so happy that the main event, the one award, was awarded. The one award for Best Picture, the one that we're waiting for the whole night. The drunkest, highest Al Pacino that there has ever been comes out and goes, "My eyes see Oppenheimer," and it was like almost cartoonish. It was so fucking funny.
Well, I don't think it was drunk or high. I think he's just old. I think he's just old, bro. I mean, I'm not saying that he wasn't drunk or high. I think that would have happened whether or not he was drunk or high. He's just old, really, really old, and I don't think we understand how age affects us all. And it's just
Oppenheimer. What a way to like announce that was up there with like the everyone was just like, what?
Well, you know why? It's because he didn't say the Oscar goes to, and he didn't announce the people who got the nominees. But to his defense, he claims that that's the way the producers told him to do it right before he got on stage. That's what he claims.
To not read the nominees. My eyes see Oppenheimer.
No, just to get into the winner, just to open up not to announce the nominees.
Well,
to save time.
Doing it periodically throughout the
right. I'm fine with it. I don't need another round of like the nominees are like we've been doing it throughout the whole show. We got it.
Speaking of trademarked things, isn't the Oscar goes to the part of that thing that they like? That's what they said.
I guess
you say it the whole time.
Yeah,
the Academy Award goes to, the Oscar goes to.
Yeah,
whatever it was, and I now am petitioning for it to just be my eyes see, and then the name of the movie. My eyes see, because that's how you take a movie in.
Well, he does have a newborn. He does have a newborn, so maybe that's the way. Like, I see with my little eye, Oppenheimer.
He should go peekaboo, and he just shows it.
But he's at the age. He's had a kid. So he's so old when he had his last kid. He just had a kid last year, by the way, like a few months ago.
God.
This just happened. So they're both playing peekaboo with each other. They're both playing peekaboo for real. Like the baby's like peekaboo, and I was like, huh? How did that get there?
Boy. I have no object permanence. I had it as a younger man, and now I don't know where things have gone.
We have a comment on Twitch. We have a comment from Twitch.
There was Mom Koji. Oh, this is Yolanda. Well, I kind of liked Isn't It Past Your Jail Time? Which I
love that. That was the funniest because it was unscripted, and that's when you could see a comedian. Like, that's the mastery of a comedian coming in, right? Like, he's just like, this is not scripted. I'm just gonna make this joke because I know it's funny. That's great. I thought it was great.
Yeah. And to a certain extent, like the guy running for president was tweeting about the Oscars and talking shit or whatever, and it's just like, what do you not to get political.
Don't you have more important things? Like, that's a weird thing to be complaining about.
It is, and to be fair, I get it. We were all tweeting our things. You know what I mean? Like, we were all on social media.
But not all of us have 80 legal complaints against us.
Yeah, like 91 felonies or whatever the fuck. Yeah, like we're not there.
We don't. Yeah.
There's an element of the show I want to talk about also. Like, we did our categories last episode, and I feel like we should review them to see who is the most accurate. I hate to say that, like, none of our top 10 picks of 2023 won anything.
None of them even got nominated.
Across the Spider-Verse was nominated, but it did not win. Oppenheimer was the only one that won. That was on our top 10 list.
That was on your top 10 list. That was on your top 10 list. That was not mine.
That was my again.
Justice for the Pope's exorcist.
The Pope's exorcist. Justice for Haunted Mansion. Also, Barbie snubbed. Not one win for Barbie except for Ryan Gosling's song.
No, Ryan Gosling's song didn't win. Barbie's song won, but not Ryan Gosling's songs. It was what's her name?
Billie Eilish. It was
Billie Eilish.
My mistake.
Yeah,
that is correct.
Youngest to ever win 2 Oscars. Youngest person to ever win 2 Oscars at the age of 22.
Because she won it for
the Bond.
Yeah, she won it for Bond. Wow. Okay. So let's go down our list and let's see how we did. So we had best animated feature film was I called it because it was the give it to Miyazaki after so long of him being, like, he's about to retire. He's an icon. It's a quote unquote his last film. He's had his last film like 6 times.
Sure.
And
he's the Jay-Z of animators, of Japanese animators.
Yes. The irony, of course, being that, like, of all of the nominated categories, I went to a party. I went to a little viewing party. It was a black tie pizza party at Carolyn Page's house. You know her from Dropout TV. Go follow her on Twitch and social media and all those things. Her name's Carolyn Page. We went to her house. She was doing a screening thing of all of the Oscars, and she had bingo where you would do Oscars bingo. So, like, if Tears was for sure a language spoken other than English was one of them. And then if you got bingo, you won a prize. And then also she had a breakdown of all of the awards. And for the animated feature films, we were talking about, like, some legit snubs. And of course, Across the Spider-Verse could have won, but it was given in name to the boy. And that was so that's 1 point for me. We have best cinematography. I went with the obvious pick. You went Killers of the Flower Moon. I went Oppenheimer. It went to Oppenheimer.
FYI, Killers of the Flower Moon was O for everything.
Yes.
Martin Scorsese, by the way, is O for his last 26.
Wait, 26
Yeah, between
nominations,
this,
not movies.
no, between nominations between Killers of the Flower Moon, The Irishman. There was like 2 other movies, like in the last 4 movies that he's done, he's been nominated so many times, and
Right.
none of them won Jackson. Irishman got nominated 10 times, won none of them.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Good.
maybe he should make a Marvel movie. Maybe he should make a Marvel movie.
I just was thinking about that. Like, let that guy do Eternals too, or whatever. Let him do all that.
I compartmentalize, man. That guy's a fucking genius. His movies are still amazing. I love all his movies.
Of course.
And I don't the comments that he makes about superhero movies, because I love superhero movies. And as you can see by my top 10 list last episode, I don't lean towards the artistic critical shit, but
Right.
I'm all for his movies are still genius. He's still a genius, man.
I get it, and to be fair, to him, he's earned his, like, he won. Like, he's doing side quests now. He could do a Marvel movie and make it literally like just like the fucking Beavis. He could do the Beavis and Butthead Part 4 or whatever it is, and it would be fine. Like, I would be like, good, like, let him have fun. I think that he should do something different. I think he should change his pace a little bit. I think he should fuck around with animation. I think he should direct, like him and Tim Burton should make a movie together. Why not? Like those guys that have such clear, like, specific voices in some way should, like, you've already done your thing. You've earned your credit. Like we were talking about Russell Crowe, that he's just like doing whatever he wants now and just having fun. Like, that should be Martin Scorsese should just pick weird shit to do. Like, stop trying to win Oscars and just try to have like.
But I think that's it. That's his bag, though. I think that's his thing. I don't think he does it to try to win Oscars. I think that he does it because he's like, this is what I like to do. I like to tell these in-depth stories, and I think he does all. I think that's just his bag. I mean, I'm assuming. I don't think he does it out of like, oh, fine, I'll do another, Robert De Niro film.
Right.
I don't think it's that.
I'll do another one. I want to say that what is this? We did cinematography. Oppenheimer won a ton of stuff, and I think Chris Nolan is like one of these newer. Him and Denis Villeneuve, the guy from Dune, where they don't really care about where the stuff they like comes from. They just like the stuff they like. Like, we were joking around about Chris Nolan liking Talladega Nights and the Fast and the Furious movies. Like, there's like, I think that is a sign of a newer generation of all of these filmmakers, because Chris Nolan, like, he's technically making like sci-fi movies and shit. He did a superhero movie, he did Batman. Like, why not have put your stamp on anything? If you're that good, they could hand you anything and you'd make it great. So,
yeah.
Anyway, but cinematography. Next we go to visual effects, which was another one for me, because Godzilla -1. I was so happy when those Japanese guys, that Japanese crew came on stage.
I picked that one too, right? Did I pick that one too?
You picked Guardians.
Oh, I did pick Guardians.
Guardians was up there, and I would have been fine with either one. I really would have.
I honestly thought that they weren't going to give it to Godzilla because I thought it was too. It was one of those things where I was like, oh no, that's too good. We can't give it to a foreign. Like, I don't know why I thought, but it was fantastic. Yeah.
It was.
Remember,
great.
It was done like on a shoestring budget. It was like
that's what we were talking.
And
I literally want everyone who's making a movie with special effects, like James Gunn or any of the Marvel people now, because Marvel's in shambles, or shambles, whatever. They're still making $1 billion. Star Wars, all these things. When they're making something, you get a note from like the thing about the special effects. It's like they pointed to, hey, Godzilla spent half of this budget and won the Oscars because they gave a shit and they knew what they were doing and they were trying hard to make something good. They weren't just, like trying to soften whatever. I want it to be that. I want it to be like.
So the rumor about some of these Marvel movies is that the effects and scenes they start trying to be made before the script is even done. Because they just have again, I've heard that on the internet. I don't know how true that is, but the rumor is that because they have a set date that these movies are going to be released, that they go, hey, we need you to come up with a scene like this. And that's why it doesn't come out as great as it should, because it doesn't always go with the story or whatever. I don't know.
They were trying to crank out too much. And I'm glad the special effects people are unionizing, the visual effects people. Moving on, we have best music original song, and you went with your Latino roots with "Flaming Hot," "The Fire Inside." I went with Barbie, "What Was I Made For?" because it was a powerhouse. It was all over TikTok. Everyone making a sad thing, and it won, and it did a great job.
Again, I am like all of these. I would have gone like half of these choices that I made. I clearly made because of my Latino roots, and I was like, I'm going to go for the underdog. But there was like a vast like people are like, if I would have made a list of like who do I think would win and who do I want to win, are very different lists.
They do feel like very different lists. Yes.
Yeah, but you know, it's fine. It is what it is.
I want to say that "What Was I Made For" is like one of these kind of singular songs in a movie, like when like when the movie revolves kind of around this song. Like they even went back and they did the score to the song after when they wrote it. And what's his name? Like almost like The Bodyguard. The Bodyguard's "I Will Always Love You." They feel connected to me.
Sure.
And it was referenced in the script where they're like in the country bar, and then he's, "Oh, this is what you listen to," and it's like a love song. And then she ends up doing a version of it, and then it was the biggest song that Whitney Houston has ever done. Like, this is a big deal, you know. Like, I loved when songs were written for movies, which I believe like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, where they had, that's a good song. We should do, like, if we were doing a Mount Geekmore again, a mountain of movie songs, that were songs that were written for the movies. That's on my mountain. The one from the Three Musketeers.
Now Canada has apologized for Bryan Adams many times.
But it was definitely like this feels like where's that from? This from fucking South Park?
South Park, the South Park movie. The South Park movie. You know, Canada Canada has apologized for Bryan Adams many times.
I love that. Yeah. But that's a great one. The Everything I Do for You. The one from the Three Musketeers. I do it all for love and all for one.
Titanic. You know.
Titanic. And then she hit another big one with her song from Deadpool 2. I mean, of course.
Those are the two Celine Dion songs that I think of.
Yep, those are the only two. The two that go together. Let's move on to
I only think of one. I gotta be honest. I only think of one.
No, she did one for some old movie with.
She has multiple. She has multiple albums. I'm sure she's done a million, but I only know of one. I only think of one. So. It's like when somebody tries to tell me. It's like when somebody tries to tell me that Dido has multiple albums. I'm like, Dido has one song.
Dido has
one song.
It is the theme to Roswell.
That's
These are super specific inside millennial jokes.
It's fine. So I see people now Googling theme song to Roswell, huh? What is Roswell?
What is Roswell? Yeah. Let's go with best actor in a supporting role. We both missed on this one. You said Robert De Niro. I said Ryan Gosling. I really wanted him to win for that, Ryan Gosling. And then seeing the show where he's performing his ass off, I really wanted it to
I love Margot Robbie not being able to hold it together. Laughing her ass off. Like that to me, just like I'm like, you're a professional actress. There's, oh yeah, this is a throwback, a comparison, right?
How good is this guy?
To the audio listener, we're watching a side-by-side comparison of Ryan Gosling singing at the Oscars, and then the other side is him performing as a child on stage before he made it big.
He was like on the Canadian Star Search or whatever it was. And look, you got to admit, whoever cast him in the Mickey Mouse Club fucking crushed it, right? Like, you have to admit.
I think so. He's been on the Graham Norton show talking about that clip of him as a child, and that they asked him like, did somebody style you? Did somebody put? And he goes, no, I put that together. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. Like, he was like, he owns it all. He's like, no, that was me. That was my decision.
I'm telling you, man. He's he should get all, he deserves everything that's coming to him. Is what I'm saying.
He has children with Eva Mendes. I think he won already. I think he won at life. I think he won at life, dude.
There's so many people who were talking shit about like, where's Eva Mendes? Why is he not with Eva Mendes? Why is he not with Eva Mendes? And I'm like, and then she starts posting on social media how she was there. She just doesn't want to deal with it. She's just like, I'm in shorts or jeans or whatever. I'm like I'm like hanging out. I'm not gonna be red carpet, whatever. And I kind of respect it. I think I think she deserves a lot of. She did.
She quit the business on her own terms. She was like, I'm not dealing with this shit.
Yeah,
like, I'm not.
She's great. She's talented. She's beautiful. She could do all of that stuff, and she's funny. Like when on her social media stuff, she does all the Cuban jokes, the Cuban mom things.
Yeah. And
she, like that's all the stuff that people get famous for now. All of those front camera characters that people put on TikTok, and then they get like a bazillion followers. She's that. She's already been in things. So I mean, look. Ryan Gosling is not like struggling in life.
He's winning. He's just winning. But good for him. He deserves it. Super talented.
Good for Robert Downey Jr., who won Best Supporting Actor in a Supporting Role because his speech was kind of like a middle finger a little bit. But it was the most Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, it was
speech.
pretty good.
Like I love the fact that Robert Downey Jr. really is Tony Stark. He really is Tony Stark. He does the peace signs. He wears the rose-colored fucking glasses, which are prescription, by the way. I know that for a fact. They're prescription. And it's one of those things where it's like he really is the embodiment of Tony Stark. He says outlandish shit, and people take it as a joke because he is joking around most of the time.
I guess, but
he's just I love hearing him talk about his wife because he loves his wife so much, and I think that is the super coolest shit ever, man. I think honestly, I think that is super cool the way he always dotes on his wife. Every interview, also, I've seen him on Inside the Actor Studio. I've seen him on all of these super serious, like we're gonna in depth, and he loves bragging and doting on his wife, and I think that's the super coolest thing ever, man.
He does this thing of where his wife's his producer also, but then when he did, he credits with like saving because he had won. Did he win for Chaplin or was he nominated for Chaplin?
No, he was nominated for Chaplin. This is his first win, his third nomination.
Yeah, so when he talks about his wife, like saving his life, he was the butt of a lot of jokes in Hollywood. There was that episode of SNL where they made fun of MTV Cribs. And they did the Robert Downey Jr. I think about it all the time when I see how famous and like good he is now. Like how like I guess like recovered he is because it's kind of a testament to like he could have gone on the Charlie Sheen path, and
he was the original Charlie Sheen. He was the original Charlie Sheen. He was like Charlie Sheen was like taking notes like, oh, is that how you do that? Okay, all right.
And then he's got his shit together, and then like he was the butt of his jokes, and it felt like a kind of a victory, like where like bigger than just the Oscars. Like he's like, yep,
yeah,
crushed it, nailed it, and good for him. And then we have Best Actress in a Supporting Role, and I was so happy, man. This is great. You chose Latina America Ferrara.
I still stand by my decision.
Yeah, I mean, she was great. Honestly, like they were all really good. Of the ones we saw, like the whole time we were watching the Oscars, everyone at this little party was like, well, of the ones I've seen, these are the better ones. And it's like, yeah, that's how everybody watches the Oscars, where there's like a monumental performance, and there's like, well, I didn't see Anatomy of a Fall, so America Ferrara should win. Like I chose Davine Joy Randolph, who was from The Holdovers. And I'm glad she won. She was awesome. She was great. Her speech was good. So
look, I'm glad she won. Really, I am. I'm not saying this to belittle her or her performance, but I saw that the Holdovers 2 days ago, actually yesterday. And the whole time I'm watching it, I totally understand why The Holdovers was nominated. I understand why Paul Giamatti was nominated. I don't really see why she was nominated. Again, not belittling her performance. Please understand, I'm not hating. I just didn't see. She didn't even have a single scene where she's like, I'm the shit actress. Here I am. If you ever saw Fences, did you ever watch Fences with Denzel Washington and Viola Davis?
No. Yeah.
So
Viola
as
Davis,
I watched that movie, I watched that movie years after it came out, and as I'm watching that movie, Viola Davis has a couple different scenes, but there's one major scene that everybody points to. But there's a couple different scenes in that movie where I'm like, holy shit, this is a fucking. And I had to go back and look. Did she get nominated for the Oscar? Not only did she get nominated, but she won because of that kind of
Right.
performance. And I did not see anything in the holdovers that was like, this woman is like, and again, she's not bad. I didn't think she was bad. I just didn't think there was anything like, fucking stop the presses. We got to nominate her right now. Like, okay, that's weird.
I get it. There's an element of that movie where she's holding. It's very subtle, which I respect. Is the she lost her son, and then all of these privileged people did not have to deal with that sort of thing.
Yeah,
because she lost her son in Vietnam, and these kids have no, like it showed. I think her role was a lot more subtle. And then when she's like at that party and she gets drunk and then she accepts the loss, like she reunites with her family and all that stuff. I think as a whole, her B story is very, very, very good. And it could have been, again,
but I think the story was very, very good. And if you think about it, the whole point of that movie, her point of that story is that my kid had to go to war and he ended up dying because these rich kids would never have to deal with any of that. But that's kind of contradicted by the main story when you find out that this kid is actually going through a lot. That the main kid is fucking going through his own shit too, and we don't know other people's struggles because we don't know what the fuck is happening.
Because it's a well-balanced movie. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying I even said I understand why this movie was nominated. This is the kind of movie that the Academy. This movie reminded me a lot of what was that movie with Robin Williams? Captain, My Captain.
Dead Poet Society.
It gave me a lot of Dead Poet Society vibes. A lot of with honors. The movie with Joe Pesci and it gave me a lot of those vibes of like Brendan Fraser. Very underrated movie, by the way. So I get why the Academy liked this movie. I liked the movie. I thought the movie was good. I enjoyed it. But her performance specifically, I wasn't like, this one, you got to give her the. I mean, I'm glad she won it. We need more people of color. We need more minorities to win shit. I'm glad she won it. I really am. I was confused as to I didn't. There wasn't that one scene. I don't mean to take anything away from her.
I'm not going to film bro you and tell you don't understand what you were watching, man. I hate when people say that shit. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I really enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed them.
I enjoyed the movie a lot. I did enjoy the movie a lot. It really gave me the good. It's that coming of age movie. Like it made me feel good. Like I was watching a movie and it made me feel good.
A difficult feel good movie that didn't fall into like tropes. I think a little bit because there was the woman that he was kind of like a little like interested in, and then it ends up that she's already with somebody else. Like, what did you think? She was just being nice, and then it was like fucking revelation of like After they said that he smells like fish, I really did not. I was like, it's really difficult. It's really difficult to be like, he's gonna get the girl. I was like, no, he's not. He's not gonna get the girl. He smells like fish. He smells like fish. There's just no way. There's no way. Let's go to Best Actor in a lead role. I chose Paul Giamatti from The Holdovers because I thought he did a fantastic job.
He did a great job.
Nick Cage could have done a better job. And then you chose Cillian Murphy, who ended up winning for
so what is that? 1-4?
Oppenheimer.
4-1? We're at 4-1.
Yeah. I should have been keeping score. Let me see which ones. 1, 2, 3,
you had like 3 already.
5, and you have 2. No, we both missed one. I mean, spoiler alert, I beat you, but
by a lot.
But I was also making like more definitive choices. You were like, Latinos represent.
Yeah, Latinos represent. I was totally. I mean, the only way I was gonna win is if Hollywood did a complete 180. We're like, let's give it off to the Latinos, and they're like, that's never happened. Yeah, in the history of the Oscars, Latinos have never reigned supreme. So like, there's no way I was gonna win that one.
Absolutely.
And I'll be honest with you, if there would have been a Latino actor gone up for male actor, I would have gone with him too. So I wouldn't have even gone with Cillian Murphy. So
you were doing that thing where you're fighting with one hand tied behind your back, where you're just like, it's for me. You did the Inigo Montoya. I'll have you know, I'm not left-handed. You did that.
Yeah, yeah.
You
You know what I was
decided
doing? You know what I was doing? I was voting for Bernie Sanders.
Ooh, that hurt my feelings.
I know, I know.
Oh no.
It's like
Um,
I'm gonna vote for who I think is right, even though I know I'm not gonna win. Like it's fine. That's whatever.
I get it, and that
You know what?
is offensive to me.
I went to sleep with my head held high,
Yeah.
mostly because I have sleep apnea, but also because I was okay with my choices.
Let's talk about Best Actress in a Leading Role. You chose Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon, and I chose
She got
Annette
robbed.
Bening for Naiad. And Emma Stone won, and I do think I again, this was of the movies I saw. I picked Annette Bening. I saw Naiad. I thought she was fantastic. I do feel like that may have been kind of probably one of the best lead roles for women in movies that year. But also, how many like I'm surprised Margot Robbie still wasn't like nominated. Like that show was crazy to me. She wasn't nominated, right?
Nope.
That's crazy to me. All right, whatever.
It wasn't crazy to me. I was fine with it.
You're fine with it.
I'm not saying that she didn't do a good job. I just didn't see. There's nothing in that movie that made me go, "Oh my god, this is."
The director, that Barbie
director, she should have actually.
Should have been nominated.
I'm very much confused. I told you we talked about this last episode. You can't. How is your film nominated but not the director? It's always very confusing to me. Like the whole point of the directing is you're putting all of these movie pieces together. So if the film is nominated for the best film of the year, then the director did their job. So how is the director not nominated? It's very It's a very weird.
Tricky.
Again, it's all But
that is a very weird fucking But we have Emma Stone won for Poor Things, which I did not see. Have you seen it yet?
No, I just downloaded it. She looks very weird. She doesn't look like Emma Stone. Emma Stone is like famous for having big eyes. Like I don't understand. She looks at the Academy Awards. She looked very, very. My wife says it's those shots that make your skin tight or whatever. But her face did not look like Emma Stone. I don't know. And again, I'm not saying she looked bad, and I'm not trying to body shame. I'm just saying she didn't look like Emma Stone to me. So I really am not trying to body shame. It threw me off.
I'm just trying to find something. I mean, she's still got some big ass eyes. I guess what you're saying,
but that wasn't her. But that wasn't her that day. Look at her. Yeah, that's a weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
I should have even brought it up. But I thought she looked weird.
She's a notorious.
It threw me off. When you're in a movie and something throws you off and it takes you out of the movie. Right. It took me out of it because I was like, "Who's that?" Like I really was like, "What is that? Who's that?" And I was like confused.
Yeah. I get it.
Shout out to J.C. Pollin. Did you see Jesse Plemons? That guy looks great.
Yeah, right.
That guy looks great. Good. You know what they were saying? They were saying the winner of the Oscars is Ozempic.
Bro. First of all, I'm curious about it. It's a revolutionary drug.
Brother, if you have $300 a month, have at it, brother. Good for you.
Salud. Also, the Ozempic is the old one. There's a newer one.
There's a couple of them. There's Ozempic, there's Wegovy, and then there's something with an M. Forget what it is. Listen, man, as a fat guy, I'm on the hip with I'm on it, baby.
Is there a rebate? Like, okay, so let's say we start a GoFundMe for some Ozempic for us. How long do you have to take it before you see results? And how long before are you taking it before people start asking the question, "Hey, man, are you okay? Are you all right?"
That's what I want to get to. I want to get to that. I want to get to the point where, like, hey, man,
point where people are really concerned about my health.
Really.
Like,
well, that's. I want to get to the. I want to get. Well, I think I've thought this for years. Even though I wasn't doing anything about it, but I've thought this for years. Same thing that Will Watkins once said on Twitter. He's like, I want to get to the point where I'm so muscular that people accuse me of taking steroids. That's what I want to get to. Like, that's why I'm like, I want to get to that point. Yeah.
Shout out to Will Watkins. We did a podcast. We're bringing back Zeros on Heroes, and we're doing a podcast called Just Trying to Look Like You. And it's just a fitness positivity thing. And we did our first episode last week, a couple weeks ago, and we're gonna do it again because he is kind of training me now to do exercise and work out again. And we're gonna go on there and talk about anything that helps your personal fitness, whether mental, physical, or spiritual. We're gonna go like positivity. Jim Bro's got
spiritual.
a bad rep.
I don't think
I said what I said.
I don't think these two hosts do anything spiritual. I don't think that those two hosts. I don't buy.
I said what I said.
I don't buy.
We're not turning anyone away. If you're doing something good for yourself and body, why not?
Unless you're a podcast in the Philippines called "What's Up, Bro," and you steal our shit, go fuck yourself. So
yeah, then we will bring crystals and cast curses. That's also part of it. We need a witch on there to talk about health if we're going to have a complete conversation. Let's move forward and talk about our best director of the Oscars nomination. This is again went to me, but you went Killers of the Flower Moon. Really going to bat for.
I knew who was gonna win. I knew it's obvious as fuck. Like the whole they were just jerking off. I see Oppenheimer. They were just jerking off Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was being jerked off the entire. Come on, man. It was pretty obvious who was gonna win every fucking thing.
Yeah. And that leads us into our best picture, where you picked Oppenheimer to win, and you got it right. And the holdovers was a personal choice. It was one that I delighted in. I love that movie.
I gotta be honest with you. I loved Oppenheimer. It wasn't to me the best movie nominated. To me, I would have gone with Flowers of the Killers of the Flower Moon. I love that movie, man. And again, I'm a Scorsese fan, so I'm not gonna sit here and say that doesn't have anything. But those performances, that movie was really something to me. I saw the holdovers yesterday. I still would have picked Killers of the Flower Moon, but I picked Oppenheimer because I knew it was gonna win. I was like, there's no way they're not gonna give. There's no way the Academy is not gonna give it to fucking this guy. It's crazy. And I'm happy for him. He's a good guy. He seems like a cool guy.
Hey, man. If Chris Nolan wants to put me in a movie, I'd be like, yeah, you're such a cool guy that I would give you the honor of allowing me to be in your movie. What a nice dude. That's the choice. Look, man, what if he just happens to stumble across this podcast and is like, get me those two Latino gentlemen. I'm going to redo, some movie that, I want to be a part of whatever he does next.
I would love to be a part of any of those. Directors seem like really amazing. There have not been any negative things said about any of these. There have been such a positive thing with all of these directors, except for Martin. But that's because he only trashed Marvel. Well, that's only because he trashed Marvel movies. But
trashed Marvel. But also the guy who wrote the holdovers, they're saying that he ripped somebody off. So we don't know. We don't know until later. We never know the whole story. But as of right now,
is that the writer or the director?
He's both.
The writer. Oh, he's both.
Alexander Payne wrote. Yeah, he did both. So he's double.
You know what I did like about that though, or what I liked not that he started. What I liked about the movie, I enjoyed that it didn't put here's the year. You had to figure out that it wasn't in current times, and it wasn't it wasn't oh, look at these bell bottoms and look at these it wasn't this absurdly stereotypical 1970 thing. It was these subtleties of oh, I was jerking off to a porno magazine, and you're like, porno magazine? What year? I literally said that in the beginning of the movie when they were talking about did you take my porno mag? And I was like, what? I said out loud, what year is this that they're using porno mags?
That's so funny.
But I like when directors do that. I like when directors, they don't force feed you certain information. Yeah. And you're you'll figure it out.
Do they still have porno mags?
I don't know if they have magazines, bro.
That's fair. I don't know. Do you still is there some of these traditionalists that are going over there and they're like, I want my magazines?
I will say this though. This is a true story. I have even recently used pictures, not from a magazine, they're saved on my phone, but I have used pictures. And the reason why is I was in a certain situation where one, the Wi-Fi isn't great, but two, the Wi-Fi blocks sites. So I was in a situation and I was luckily I have this folder that has these things and
saved. just like
Yeah.
a bunch of, it's like you're not even in the, like you're not even horny or anything. You just anytime you stumble across a picture, you're like, this will be good for later. Okay.
No, I mean, and they're explicit pictures. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a rando like, this is a nice screen. This is a nice cityscape. This is like, I'm not fucking like, all right. No, they're explicit.
Look small.
They're explicit pictures, but they're pictures. They're like actual. They're not video. They're pictures.
Videos. Yeah.
So I've done that. Yeah, I did that recently, as a matter of fact. Where it was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, where I was like,
that's really funny.
yeah.
Oh man, how do I compete with that?
Follow that, Mike. Follow that.
You know what? All we can do is follow that with let's talk about the youth fair.
The youth fair. So the Miami-Dade County Youth Fair. So I'm assuming that other county fairs are the same as this county fair.
I wish I had asked a friend of mine, Alex Murray, to come on because I did want to talk to him about movie stuff, but also like this is, I guess, the Miami segment of the show where we talk about Miami shit. And the youth fair was such an important part of like when you were a little kid in school, you would do the expo because it was the youth fair and expo. And I remember I got like a haiku. You did paintings and you would have your school submit your stuff and people would vote on you and all this stuff. And there was like shops and things. People put up like little, you could buy random shit in there and like looked like a flea market. But that was such like a big thing. And I'm assuming all the other fairs are like that, but I would love to know like what the little differences were, like how was the fair different in, Georgia or Tennessee, where Alex is from, versus Miami, versus Dade County.
So, because I have driven past the Broward County Fair in the past, and it from the outside, I never partook, but from the outside, it didn't look as big as the Dade County Fair.
Okay.
So I'm assuming obviously some counties are bigger than others. Some county fairs are going to be bigger than others. But Miami-Dade County Fair is fucking pretty massive. It's sprawled out. It's pretty big. Yeah. I used to work the fair many, many years ago.
What?
When I worked the fair 5 years in a row. I worked the fair 5 years in a row. I did the first time I ever worked there. I was 15. I wasn't even old enough to work. I lied about my age.
Wow. And they don't check because it's carnies.
No, they ask you for your social security number, but they don't check. I didn't even know my social security number. I just put some regular ass number. I looked over and I was like, how many numbers is this? And I just put some random ass numbers. Yeah. And the first time I worked there,
stuff like this.
The first time I worked there, it was at a cotton candy place, a candy apple place, and it was called the Candy Castle.
Okay.
So it was called the Candy Castle. It was in front. It was like at the front of the fair, and it was by the kids area. So it was in front of the swings, where those giant swings are.
Yes.
And when you're walking past those swings, then you could go into like the kiddie area, and that's where I was stationed. And then the second year I did chicken wings. I worked at the chicken wing place. It was chicken wings and fries. And then the third, I did the Candy Castle 2 years in a row. I did the wings. And then the fourth and fifth year, I did the basketball thing where I take the money for the basketball.
Oh, you were the one with the scam.
Yeah. Right. I mean, people won. I don't know how much of a scam it was. People actually won. So
yeah. There's all these stories about like I guess the smaller ones are way more crooked, but all those games are kind of like built to. It's like the casinos, like the odds are against you. But
I just think that people don't really practice those games, so people aren't good at those games.
That's true.
How often do you get to throw a ring on top of a soda bottle? Like how often do you you're never going to be good at that.
Or
like why would you
bowling ball so that it just barely
yeah. Like how often do you practice that? So why do you think you're going to go to a county fair and pay $5 to do it? And what makes you think you're going to be able to do it? Like I don't understand this logic. But that's a competitive nature. Like, oh, this looks easy, so I'm sure I'll be able to do it.
Yeah. I bet there's a part of that where it's like, I gotta look good in front of my girl. That I gotta win her a bear or something.
My kids won. My kids actually won. I went on the second. So the fair opened up on a Thursday, and we went the very next day on Friday. So it was the first Friday of the fair opening up. My friends didn't even know the fair had opened. They were like, "Is it open already?" They didn't even know. And I gotta say, I picked the best time to go. It wasn't overly crowded. It was after school and after my wife got out of work at 5:30. So we got there like at 6:30. The weather was perfect. It wasn't overly crowded. There wasn't much lines for the rides for when the kids were riding the rides. It was really like we picked a great time. And I say all of that to say that there was one game where you shoot the water in the clown's mouth or whatever.
Yeah.
And my kids wanted to play, and there was one time where I have 3 kids, and my wife was gonna play for my third daughter, but you need at least 4 people to play to get a winner. So the guy said we need at least 4 to play. So he was trying to bark and be like, "Hey, come on down, everybody wins."
Right.
It's a bit, and so my wife had to play and let my 3-year-old daughter play.
How old is, 3. She's
not even 3 yet. She's gonna be 3 she's gonna be 3 in a month.
Just like teetering on.
Yeah, she was just like whatever. But because there was only 4 of us, and all 4 of us were the same family, we were all destined to be. So my son won, and then like an hour and a half later, we're eating still around that same area. And my daughter walks over to the game, and she's just like looking because she wants to play a game. But I already told her I'm not paying for another game.
Right.
And so the guy needed a 4th. Tells my oldest daughter to sit down, and my oldest daughter's like, "I don't have any money." He was like, "Sit down." Like he's trying to tell her, "Sit down and shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
So she sits down and she fucking wins.
Wow, that's funny.
And that was a great place to win because there was no like sizes. There was no like the first time you win you get a small one. The second it was like all you pick whatever one you want. If you want the giant one the first time you win, then you get the giant one the first time. And my daughter won this giant plush monkey, and the look on her, that happiness on her face,
It
was as if like it was just like, oh my god,
some 50-cent stuff thing from China.
Yeah,
I like how our whole family just kind of set it all up so that we would win. Well, you just described as the 1% in the United States. Listen to me. You understand that the capitalist problem. These families, they keep it in the family. They keep the 1%.
That's it. 1% of the plush toy winners.
The 1% of the plush toy market, all dominated by one family. You just described the Waltons, the Walmart family. I remember. It's funny you mentioned that people didn't know that it was going on, because I very clearly remember there being like a shit ton of commercials of the "Be There, the fair." I put it. That's literally what
people don't watch. Remember, people don't watch TV nowadays, bro. There's no more ads.
Yeah,
there's no more commercials.
There's no ads.
There's no. Let me rephrase that. There's no forced ads, because whatever you're watching, if there's an ad that comes on, you could just be like, skip in 2 seconds. I'll watch this for 2 seconds and then skip it.
But there was some like iconic ads from like TV, I guess geographically.
Can you pull up the fair? Be There. Can you pull up those ads?
Yeah, let me find it.
Because I'm telling you, we invited friends of ours. We're like, hey, we're gonna go to the fair on Friday, and they're like, the fair's open, and they're like, yeah, man, the fair opens on Thursday. Like, one of my friends didn't even believe me. She was flat out like, I don't think the fair's open this weekend. And then her son, who was there, goes, the fair opens on Thursday, which was the next day. He's like, yeah, it opens tomorrow. And we're like, oh, okay. And she was like, she didn't know.
Oh my God, we're about to get
blast from the past,
because this is from 1996. Let's see here. Can you?
Hopefully, there's not an ad.
Yeah. This is it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh yes.
Be there. The fair. It's all
there. Be there.
The fair. Be there.
Oh,
Dade County Youth Fair and Exposition.
This is.
Be there.
Okay. All right. This.
That's just prime time nostalgia, bro. Just
perfect. This has to get cut because we're putting the cropped out. This is the ultimate, one of the most sound-inducing memory, that I've remembered how it smelled. I remember how the food tasted. I remember the feel of the little fucking tickets. I remember all.
So there's no. So here's the thing. This is how they get you. Because now I'm going as a parent, and so even though I had taken my older kids when they were younger, I hadn't been there in like maybe 3 or 4 years. I haven't been to the fair in a while because I've been working. Right, it just comes around a certain time of interest. I go there and I'm like, all right, let's get two of my youngest daughter's still 2 years old. She doesn't have to pay, right, for the tickets for the rides. And then they were like, and then the older kids have to pay, and the unlimited ride is $35 a person.
Oof.
So I'm like, okay, fine. And then they were like, there's also a fast pass, and I was like, nah, we're not doing the fast pass. It's all right, we're not doing the fast pass. And then they were like, your little daughter doesn't have to pay, but she has to go with an adult. So there has to be somebody that goes with them. So I have to now pay for my wife's $35 unlimited. And then my wife is like, but we want to go on the Ferris wheel and we want to go out on this and that. And I go, well, I'll just buy the lowest package of tickets. And the lowest package of tickets is, I think it was like, I forgot what it was, but it was $22 for like 20 tickets or something along those lines. And then the lady was right, and the lady was like, well, the Ferris wheel itself is 10 tickets.
10 tickets.
Yeah, every other ride, the average is 3 or 4, but the big rides, like the big Ferris wheel, is 10 tickets. So now I'm forced to spend another $35. So now I'm down $140. I've been there for 5 minutes. I'm just like immediately, right?
Oh my God.
And everything costs $6 at the fair, except for the refills. Everything is $8. Everything, all the food, the drinks, the souvenir cup is $8. To refill it is $4. A hot dog is $6. A slice of pizza is $6. Yeah. Everything was $6. Like everything was $6.
Everything. I remember that being an expensive place. When I went way back in the original WuBro days, I had a cheat day that we went to.
Yeah, we went to. Yeah, that might have been the last time I went to the fair.
That might have been. Yeah, and my mom. Look, I remember collecting the bread wrappers. I think it was Wholesome bread.
Wholesome. So I said that to the lady. I said that to the girl doing the $35 ticket. I go, what if I have what if I have 8 Wholesome bags? What discount do I get?
Did she not? She had no clue.
She had no clue. She was 30. I asked her, I go, how old are you? She goes, 30. She goes, you have no clue what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're no clue.
No clue what I'm talking about.
I can't believe, oh man, the fair.
Let me explain that to the listener. Let me explain that to the listener who's not from South Florida. So when Mike and I were children, there wasn't a flat fee of how much you pay for the thing. There was like special, the county fair had deals with certain people, right? Certain companies. One of them was Wholesome Bread Company. So the Wholesome Bread Company, if you had 8 Wholesome bags, you get in for free. I think if it was either the entrance or I forget if it was the entrance or if it was for the unlimited ride pass, because the unlimited ride pass used to be a stamp. It's no longer a stamp, by the way.
And you would people would lick it and try to get
and try to do
that. Yeah.
And so that was a thing. So you have to get 8 Wholesome bag wrappers. We were super hood, and we would get 1 Wholesome bag and then stuff it with Sedano's bags and like all this like shit inside, and then we would add a little bit of air, and then we would tie it, and they never counted. They never opened it up to count how many bags. They were just like, here, and they would just throw it in the bin and just like, yeah, here's your ticket. Yeah. So we used to do that. And by the way, I know I made it sound as if I was complaining about the prices. I wasn't really. I mean, it came out to be not a bad evening at the end.
You got 3
it
kids,
is what it is.
You did it to yourself.
1, I have 3 kids, and 2, I literally kept thinking about this. I was like, this would be way much more at Disney. And it was just, and I got to be honest with you, man. And I know I'm very sappy and very emotional when it comes to my kids, but they had a fucking blast, dude. And I loved, because and add that to the fact that I'm always away, I'm always working, I'm never home, blah, blah, blah. But just being able to spend that time and watching them fucking freak out and lose their shit on rides and fucking eat this food that is absurdly unhealthy. But I was like, let's do it.
You're
whatever, man.
Parent, you're like,
whatever.
It's whatever that.
No, I mean, in all fairness, I did limit them. I'm like, you could only get 1 of those. You got to pick one of the. You know what I mean? I was like, but I
want a blue. According to my mom, I want a blue ribbon for something. Was it a? I remember I got a haiku. Was it a haiku? I wrote a haiku. I wrote poetry, and I got picked for something. I don't remember. What if it was like, no, it was
It's for a hike. It was for a hike.
A haiku, I think. My mom.
No, it's for a hike.
She's using that voice to text. That if you are watching us while you are driving, Mom, please stop. Do not do that.
It was for a hike, bro. It was for a hike. I literally said it was for a hike.
My stride was perfect. Immaculate boots. I was the best at hiking. But yeah, I will say
we went to Tropical Park. We went up the mountain.
The mountain. Oh my god. This is so Miami. We got to do a full Miami episode with some Miami ass people on one of these days. But thank you. We're moving on. We got to get to all the things we talked about today, and we're going to talk about brackets, baby.
Brackets.
And, the shows.
I love brackets.
Look, I'm going to say right now, a little long. So
I don't think it's long. It's an hour and 8 minutes. And
you have no idea how long these brackets things are going to take, dude.
I don't think
there's
so.
going to be discussion.
Go ahead. We're going to discuss our brackets. Is going to be the brackets of movie antagonists.
Now, here's how I think the format should be. You get one bracket. I get the next bracket. We are the determining factor. We are the only ones that get to determine who wins each bracket, right? That's the one rule. You pick one, I pick one, and we continue on that way until we get to the end.
You want to go first or you want to go second? Or you want the first bracket or you want the second bracket?
I will defer to you. You can go first.
I'll go first.
Up first, we have, of course, Hans Gruber from Die Hard. And we have, did they ever give him a name? Joe Pesci from...
Marv.
No, Marv is the other guy.
All right. So they had to give him a name. But he was Joe Pesci in Home Alone.
Yes.
So it's going to be Hans. It's going to be Hans.
Hans Gruber classic. This is now these are all just movie villains, right? That was the bracket.
Movie. It was technically movie antagonists, but yeah, movie villains.
Antagonists is a good way to put it. Like whoever's against, I get it. Because you can't. Some of these guys, you're like, they got good ideas. Hans Gruber moves on in the first round. Oh no, I picked the wrong thing. Oh no, how do I go back?
I don't think you can. You pick Freddy. That's all right. You pick Freddy.
Who is this other guy? I can't see what it is.
I think that is. Oh no! What did you do? Sweet mother of God! What did you do, Michael?
Is that
think...
the guy from Trainspotting?
Oh yeah, that's who it is.
That might be who it is.
But that's gonna be Freddy. Freddy's gonna win that.
Yeah, what a charismatic bad guy that guy is.
We forget that he's a child rapist. We forget that he's a child rapist.
That is super terrible for us to forget that. Up now we have
Terminator.
So here we have the Terminator, and we have Saruman from Lord of the Rings, and the Terminator from the Terminator. I guess he's the antagonist because he is not the villain in some of these. He's the hero.
Right, but he's the antagonist in part one. So that's a Terminator from part one.
And this is your pick. So you're going with...
Yeah. I'm purposely choosing against what you would have picked.
Yes, you monster. And here we have, in the next round, we have Joe Pesci and Agent Smith. Joe Pesci, not the villain. What is this from?
From Goodfellas. That's Joe Pesci from Goodfellas.
That's him in Goodfellas?
Yeah, that's him in Goodfellas. At the end of the movie, he's just shooting at the camera, and it tells you like what happens to every person. Yeah, so I'm gonna go Joe Pesci because Agent Smith was.
He gets capped. He gets capped in the.
Yeah. All these villains, most of them die. I don't know if you're aware of this. Most of them. I don't think. Agent Smith dies.
Yes, he does. But he comes.
So
back.
I mean. Whatever. Okay.
Just like Jesus. I'm going to go for that reason alone. Agent Smith moves on to the next round.
Oh, is this your bracket? Oh, I thought we were doing the other side because it's left and right. You are aware of that, right?
I'm just going one. You pick one, I pick one. And
okay. Go ahead. All right. That's fair.
Yeah. And now we have, this is a good one. Kylo Ren. Well, not really. But Kylo Ren and then Patrick Bateman from American Psycho.
We got to go with the American Psycho, bro.
Yeah, if you would have gone Kylo Ren, I would have questioned you in some way.
No, I really, he really is the weak point of that Star Wars franchise, in my opinion.
Oh, here we go.
Ooh,
a headless Apollo Creed.
I am so glad I didn't get this one, bro. I'm so glad I didn't get this one.
This is a real tough one to be in the first round.
So, to the listener, it's Apollo Creed from the Rocky movie, and then Biff Tannen from Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Here's the thing. I think that Apollo Creed is because of the way the rest of the series goes, he's maybe the antagonist in the first one, but he's not necessarily
and the
second villain.
And the second.
But he's not necessarily the villain. Like, I don't think he's just boxing.
Well,
you know.
But again, the bracket is antagonist bracket. It's not a villain's bracket. Fair.
So, but to me, the actor Tom Wilson is the only one he's the best guy. He's the best actor in that whole series. He is amazing, and he gets my pick. Tom Wilson is Biff. Iconic.
I get that.
Here we have Bane from the Dark Knight trilogy, or from Dark Knight Rises, really, and the Wicked Witch of the West.
Oh, the Wicked Witch of the West.
That's your pick? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Wicked Witch. Nice. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
Because you know why? Because I can understand what she's saying.
You can't understand what I'm saying. What a mess that was. Yeah.
What was that?
Here we have what's his name from Blade Runner and Commodus. Ooh, I'm glad I got this one and you didn't.
Oh, so true.
Because if this was you, I know absolutely who you'd pick.
Yeah.
Roy Batty is his name in the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should go with Commodus because you didn't even know the guy's name. So I mean, at that point, like you shouldn't even. But all right,
It took me a second to remember, but I will say, as a villain, there's moments in Gladiator where I'm like, no, it is Commodus. There's no way that it's not Commodus. This one's you. You've gotten 2 Star Wars ones.
I know.
It's unfair.
So to the listener, because we do this audio version as well, it's the bad guy from No Country for Old Men, and I forget his name.
Anton Chigurh.
And what's his name? Darth Maul from Star Wars. I'm gonna go with Darth Maul because this No Country for Old Men was my introduction to Javier Bardem, and and it's not the reason, because the reason I hate him is because he's a bad actor. But this is the first movie that I was like, this guy sucks, and then every movie after that, I'm like, oh, this is the guy from that movie, but he sucks, and then they keep putting him in my face. So yeah,
they keep putting him in movies. This is a good one for me because I do enjoy both of these movies. Classic. I mean, like in different ways. Norman Bates from the original Psycho, and Darth the Emperor, I'll say, from Lord of the Rings, from Star Wars. I hate that the sequels brought the Emperor back. So now, am I judging it on the originals, or am I judging it on the prequels? Am I judging it on the sequels?
Well, are you judging Norman Bates based upon the series, the Bates Motel, or are you basing it upon the movies?
Oh,
the one movie.
That's interesting. I didn't even think about anything else Psycho. But you're right. I do think that as an antagonist, I like the reveal of Norman Bates being his mother is better than the reveal that somehow Palpatine returned. I do like that because that's a fucking cop out bullshit line.
Oh, I'm so glad I got this one.
Oh wait, hold on.
So it is King Edward, aka Longshanks, from Braveheart. And who's the other one?
Khan from The Wrath of Khan, the Star Trek 2.
Look, normally my Latino-ness would be like, oh, the Latino, but so normally I would say Roberto Montalban, but I'm Edward Longshanks. I mean, that Braveheart is my favorite movie of all time. If for those listeners who don't know, Braveheart is my favorite movie of all time. I would never choose against it. So I'm gonna go with that.
Oh, for me, we have General Zod from The Man of Steel, and we have what's her name? From
Misery?
No, that's from Madeline.
It's very small.
Yeah. It's hard to say. Lady from the Thing.
Lady from the Thing.
Yes,
That's good.
the coach. Well, I can't. Whatever it is, it's not going to be her. It's going to be Zod. It's going to be Zod.
For the listener, if you want to know who we're talking about, if you want to see who we're talking about, if you want to see who we're talking about, you have to go to our YouTube and video or Facebook video and watch it. So it lives forever on YouTube and Facebook.
It does live for forever. Oh God, what the hell's her name?
Doesn't matter, Mike. Let's move on. It doesn't matter. We got it from Matilda.
Miss Trunchbull. From Matilda.
I've never seen that movie. You know that?
Oh, for real? Wow. Okay.
Never saw Matilda.
It's a classic, but you're right. Oh, this is a good one for you. Oh no, not really. It's a tough one. But have you seen 2001: A Space Odyssey? Because it is Calvin Candy from Django Unchained and HAL 9000 from 2001.
2001: A Space Odyssey. No, I'm gonna go with Calvin.
Yeah, he's so good.
Brutal.
All right, and now
you gotta go to the right side, buddy. You gotta go to the right side.
I know. Right. I'm going there. I'm trying to figure out how to navigate over this way without it messing everything up that I'm doing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How do I get over there?
We're a professional establishment here.
No, it's that we're using it's a website that I'm not familiar with, and I don't know how to get. Anyway. Oh, okay. So let me see. How do I get over there?
Can you go over to the right? Can you just move? Can you just hold it and go down? There you go. There you go.
Here we go. Okay. Let's do this. We have Ray Fiennes' character. I don't remember his name from Schindler's List. And
Nazi. Just say Nazi.
He's a Nazi. And then we have Alex from A Clockwork Orange. Have you seen A Clockwork Orange?
Yes. I've seen a lot of. I want to say. I'm trying to think of a Stanley Kubrick movie that I have not seen, but I've seen a lot of Stanley Kubrick. Yeah.
Okay. Who are you gonna pick?
This is your pick, buddy. I just chose. Remember, I just went with. This is your pick.
I think more for like. I do like the Clockwork Orange is just so much weirder. Schindler's List is one that is like a tough. Yeah, it's a tough watch, but I like the character of the chaos. It's like the Joker. He's like the Joker.
Sure, but you think he was worse? You think he was worse than a Nazi? Is what you're saying?
A better film antagonist. A better film in a movie. I don't want to see Nazi. I've checked out from watching Nazis be Nazis. I'm done.
Sure.
Another Star Wars thing for you. Darth Vader or whoever this. Oh, this is a guy from.
Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Did you know
the shitty boss
that is Drew Barrymore's great grandfather?
I wouldn't be surprised. Nepotism.
That is
Hollywood.
That is
the 1%.
That is Drew Barrymore's great grandfather. Not only was he a phenomenal actor, not only was he an established actor, he's also the inventor of the fucking boom mic, bro. He invented the boom mic, which is fucking huge.
Yeah, how do you be like, oh, I invented lenses. I invented film cameras.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa.
You know that microphone that's still used in every fucking movie? Yeah. I invented that shit like in 1930, motherfucker.
You know how they call them talkies? Yeah, that's because of me.
I'm gonna go with the old guy only because Darth Vader becomes the hero of the fucking thing. He's the one that brings balance to the Force.
I'll allow it. Okay, fine, I'll allow it.
Am I wrong? Does he not bring balance to the Force?
No, this is hey, look, you know what? The rules are the rules. You get your picks, and that is it.
There you go.
And I'm anti-capitalist too, so he is a villain.
He denied poor people with children homes, bro.
Homes, he did. Yeah, he's a villain. One of them is fake, bad guy with a laser sword, and the other one is a real villain.
One of them is fake, and the other one still lives on right now through our fucking bank system.
Yes, exactly. I'm gonna go with Jack from. No, I'm not gonna go with Jack. The next round is Jack Nicholson. Jack from The Shining. Jack, what's his last name? And
I don't know, but it makes him a dull boy.
Yes, and this is Jason Isaacs' character from The Patriot. Is this The Patriot?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
That guy's a monster. I haven't seen The Patriot in years, and that
monster.
guy is
saw him.
100% the villain.
That guy is such a fucking monster. Jack was just bored.
Yeah, he's just a dull boy. All work and no play. He's heavily influenced. He was made bad, is what it was.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is a good one.
Who do we got there?
It is Fletcher, J.K. Simmons' character from Whiplash, the super shitty teacher. And Loki from
Is he a shitty teacher? He got the best performance out of his student. He got a legendary performance out of his student. Is he a shitty teacher? Or is he the best teacher?
I don't know, man, but the end of that movie is one of my favorite endings of all time.
Yes.
Fucking good. I knew it was you. You think I didn't know it was you? And he's like, fuck you. And then all of a sudden the Neiman's like starts playing, and then the guy's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'll cue you. And it's just I fucking love that ending. Sorry.
Who's the other one?
Loki from the Avengers.
Oh God, I fucking can't stand Loki. I'm gonna go with J.K. Simmons. I can't stand Loki. Loki's the most overrated villain in the MCU. I don't give a fuck. I stand on that.
Man. Oh, here we got a good one. We have Kathy Bates, Annie
Misery
from Misery, and Scar from The Lion King. And,
not Seal. Not Seal. It's from The Lion King.
It's from that. Yeah, it's not from. God, this is a tough one because they're both evil. They're both bad.
Yeah, they're both homicidal maniacs.
But I think I can never go against Kathy Bates because Kathy Bates. The evil of this is that she doesn't think she's evil. She's just controlling the situation to try and get she's crazy, which makes it almost worse. I like her. I'm gonna pick her.
I like her, but the thing is that she's just a fan.
She's just a fan. Next we have John
Mr.
Doe.
Smith. John Doe, right? That's what it was. John Doe from Seven.
And Jigsaw, essentially. Jigsaw, the guy from the
I gotta go with John Doe, bro. I gotta go with John Doe. Actually, Jigsaw's a real fucking. That guy's a real lunatic, bro.
If we're basing it off the first movie, I would pick Jigsaw. But I like John Doe because the actor is also a villain.
You know what? I would. You know what? I accept that.
Yeah,
I accept that. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
So I think we should make him lose because he's a real villain. I think we should make him.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck that.
There's an actual fucking argument to be made for not moving him along.
Yeah. He didn't have to act as hard because he's just like, I'm a villain anyway.
Yeah, just what would Kevin do?
Which one do you want me to pick?
I'll pick a Jigsaw because Jigsaw, man. I always said this when I watched the Jigsaw movies. I always watch those and I go, somebody's had to sit there in a writing room and think of this shit. Yeah, and that's a crazy motherfucker that had to. But there was a room full of writers, Hollywood writers that thought of this. In the movie, he's the only character that thought of this. So yeah.
Yeah. And now for me, I have Colonel Hans Landa from Inglourious Bastards, and Michael Myers.
Your namesake.
My namesake. But I will say this is an actual Nazi that I will choose because of how good. This might be my favorite Tarantino movie, Inglourious Bastards.
Oof.
It might be my favorite.
Yeah.
And he's a big part of it because he plays such a good villain where you're okay with him being fucked up destroyed at the end.
Yeah.
I love it. Good. That was a good round, but I like
Ooh.
You have Neri, your choices are between Voldemort and
name we do not say.
And Thanos himself.
I'm gonna go with Voldemort because Thanos had some good ideas.
He may have been the antagonist, but he was not the villain.
He was not. I gotta be honest. There's so much problems with that whole thing. People always love to say Thanos, wasn't wrong or whatever. And I'm like, but he could have just with that same snap just doubled the fucking food supply, right?
Yeah. What a mess.
He could have just done that. Same amount of magic. Absolutely.
So you're going Voldemort. Also
Voldemort,
white supremacist or racial supremacist. So
Oof.
we have here. Ooh, this is a good pick. This is a good
For you,
battle
Mike,
between
your choices are the T-1000
the T-1000
from Terminator 2 or Hannibal Lecter, Hannibal the Cannibal from Silence of the Lambs, and that looks like part 1.
Look, Hannibal Lecter was just like got caught up in the bad rap. He's not a bad guy. I over which one scared me the most?
Oof.
Interesting. This is a tough one for me.
I mean, the T-1000 was just doing what he was programmed to do, bro.
I know, but then again, wasn't Hannibal Lecter?
It's so true.
No, I don't know. This is a tough one. I would like to go with, just because I've seen the movie more and it's scary every time, and he could pretend to be anybody. I'm gonna say the T-1000. I'm gonna go T-1000.
Okay.
Oh, look, now we have Marv from Home Alone and Pennywise from It. Which one did the most damage?
Did the most damage is obviously Pennywise, because Marv was really bad at his job.
I think
really
you're
bad.
underestimating the amount of damage water can do when the wet bandits strike. The flood damage the wet bandits caused could demolish a home.
You ever see that Family Guy? You ever see that Family Guy episode where like what would happen if Home Alone was real? And he was like, "Hey, did you have any problems getting in?" He was like, "Yeah, the doorknob was a little hot, so I just let it go instead of holding on to it." And and then the kid goes on top of the study. He's like, "You guys had enough? Or are you ready for more? Because I got more." And then, bah, they just shoot him.
That Marv or Pennywise?
I'm gonna go with Pennywise, man. I gotta go with Pennywise.
That feels right. Oh yes, good revenge for Lord of the Rings. We have the Dark Lord Sauron, and I don't know who this is on the bottom.
Can you zoom in?
Yeah. Hold on. I don't know who this is.
Oh, that's the warden from
Shawshank.
For Shawshank. Oh, that guy's a piece of shit. Ooh, what a real piece of shit, that guy.
Oh, man. This is a tough one for me because I do want Lord of the Rings representation. The Dark Lord Sauron is responsible for a lot of death. But we saw how bad the warden was in Shawshank.
He had that guy killed. He was like, "Are you willing to testify?" And he's like, "Just put me in front of a jury." And he's like,
Come on. As bad as that is, I'm going with my fantasy villain, super bad.
Yeah, I mean,
McLovin.
I got to be honest with you. I was just trying to talk you out of Lord of the Rings, but that's clearly the obvious choice. I mean, that
it's
guy killed
clearly
millions.
Lord of the Rings, right?
He killed millions of people. Like, this is like, I'm just trying to fucking build a argument within your head, but like, he killed millions of people. That guy was,
He slaughtered entire.
This is Nurse Ratched.
Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and then
from Leon the Professional. Gary Oldman's character, the DEA agent from.
Okay, so I'm going to reveal two things to you. I have never seen Leon the Professional.
Ooh.
And I saw One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest last year, and I don't think Nurse Ratched is a fucking villain.
Interesting.
I don't think she's literally, the whole movie was a movie based upon the anti-establishment. She was just a cog in the establishment. She just did her job. They were unruly fucks. She just did her job. I'm not saying she was likable, but she wasn't a villain. And I don't know how people on these lists, when you look up worst movie villains, she's like next to Vader on some of these lists, and you're like, who the fuck are you talking about? So I'm gonna go with the Leon from The Professional, even though I've never seen the movie, because I don't think that Nurse Ratched.
Yeah,
I don't think that Nurse Ratched is a villain.
I'll tell you this. I mean, I will reveal something myself. I've never actually seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest because I can't get past it in some ways, like like how it's aged.
Sure.
And also, as someone who has dealt with people with mental health issues in a setting where you can't do some of that, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard. The Leon the Professional, scandal noted, is
what was the scandal?
Movies.
What was the scandal?
Luc Besson is like a weirdo pedo guy. His talks about her being in a relationship with a 15-year-old, and it's kind of about But so this movie is kind of like inspired by that, and it's kind of sullied it a little bit, but scandal noted. But what a good Gary Oldman is.
Look, Gary Oldman doesn't miss. He doesn't miss. All right, so we got to go over to the other side.
Let's see here, and we're
flying by, baby. We're flying by.
We're cruising, and now we have here Hans Gruber versus Freddy Krueger.
Freddy, I'm gonna go with Hans, man.
Was that your call or?
Yeah,
did you?
That was you. Oh no, I just did. No, you're right. I just picked your pick now. No, you're right. You're right.
You're right. I'm picking Hans Gruber too. So we're both on the same page there.
Okay, so now this is my turn now.
Now you have two AI generated villains in the T8 the
T100 T800. You're right.
The Terminator and Agent Smith.
It's got to go Agent Smith. I know. I don't want to pick that one because you want it, but I'm gonna have to pick it.
It's a better character. It's a better character.
Well, it's a more menacing character. He's fucking could warp reality.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. And the speech he gives when Morpheus is locked up in the first movie, where he's like, "It's like you're like a virus." Like it, like he's like, I can't stand the smell of it. I was like, I love it.
That's great.
My pick now to choose between Patrick Bateman from American Psycho and Biff Tannen from Back to the Future. Again, I think I got to go with Biff. He's more fun to watch.
Oof. Interesting.
Biff. Now you're making me question it because
one guy's an actual murderer.
What's the criteria? Is he?
Oh, you're right. I get it. I get what you're saying. I don't know.
I think I'm gonna go with. You know what?
One of them is a capital. One of them is a capitalist pig.
Oh, damn it! You got me. Shit. You got me.
I know my audience.
He's a bigger villain.
He was a bigger villain without killing people. He was a bigger villain without killing anybody. He was a bigger villain.
Man.
All right. Next for me is the Wicked Witch of the West, or come on. I'm gonna go Commodore from Commodus from Gladiator.
Yeah, that's pretty succinct. Me, Norman Bates versus Darth Maul. Man, Darth Maul gets such a great redemption, not as a character, but as in the media, like when they bring him back in Clone Wars, and he's so good. That character is amazing. Sam Witwer did the voice. I'm going for Darth Maul just for that portrayal.
Okay.
And now you have to choose between.
No, they picked it by mistake. But yeah, I would have gone with that one. Oh no, wait.
No, that's the one you picked. So now you have to choose between. These are just overlaps from the previous round.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just do that. Let's see here. Now we have to choose. You're going to choose between Alex from
Clockwork Orange or Drew Barrymore's great grandfather.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with Drew Barrymore's great grandfather. He's capitalist pig, man.
Capitalist pigs. I have to choose between Jason Isaacs' character from the Patriot and the J.K. Simmons from Whiplash.
Oof. J.K. I mean, I gotta be. He's not the villain. I mean, he was a. I mean,
I get it. He's an asshole, but he gets results. The villainous acts of Jason. I wish I knew his name, but the guy from the Patriot, the villain from the Patriot, he's more great
bad guy. He's such a great bad guy.
And now you get to choose Annie Bates from Misery or Jigsaw.
Ooh. I'm gonna go with Annie Bates, bro. I'm gonna go with her. Yeah. All right. Your turn.
Yeah. Hans Landa or Voldemort?
Fantasy
Nazi or actual Nazi? Interesting. Voldemort was written by a real bad lady who was a racist and transphobe, and Quentin Tarantino wrote Hans Landa, and he is also kind of
97 N-words in one movie.
What criteria are we judging?
But he likes feet, man. He likes feet.
I'll say this on a global scale, Voldemort was a better, like, again, this is like, I enjoy the portrayal and
we're just going with the character, man. We're not going with the backstory with the writers and the fucking authors,
Yeah.
So who we got? Where we go? Where you go?
No, because I think we have to zoom out a little bit because this thing is very spread out.
Okay.
So now we have.
What are we at, the Sweet 16 right now?
I believe it's a little off. Okay. Yeah. So let's do this here, and we'll start over. We'll start up here with
that's Hans Gruber and Mr. Smith and Agent Smith.
Agent Smith. Let's see.
So it's my turn because you just picked. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with Hans.
Yeah, he does such a good job, and he's so good in that movie.
Yeah.
Commodus and Patrick Bateman again. Commodus is just such a fucking brutal villain.
Yeah, I think that's the right choice.
Yeah.
I'm going, and then over here is
versus Darth Maul.
Longshanks is going to be a thing.
Just for the right of prima nocta alone.
We'll breed them out. Who is this who speaks to me as if I care?
Wow.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. General Zod from Man of Steel and Calvin Candy from Django Unchained.
That's your pick, buddy.
Oh, is that mine? Oh, yeah.
I picked Longshanks, yeah.
Zod was just trying to save his people. I'm going to go with Calvin Candy.
Okay.
And then now, you have Drew Barrymore's grandfather, and or Jason Isaacs' great grandfather. I'm sorry,
Jason. It's gonna be Jason Isaac from The Patriot, man.
It's the bad guy from It's a Wonderful Life, and then Jason Isaacs from the character from The Patriot.
Yeah.
Annie Bates versus Voldemort. We gotta go Voldemort on that one. You got T-1000 versus Pennywise.
T-1000. I think
going with our gut. Sauron versus a drug-addled DEA agent from Leon the Professional. Gonna go Sauron. This is getting hot.
What are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at the final. We're at the Elite 6. Or no, that's an Elite 8. All right, go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out how it's structured. So
I don't think it's. Yeah. It's all right. We'll get there.
I think so. Because right now, what we're dealing with is Hans Gruber versus Commodus, and I think it's you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Commodus.
Yeah,
but I don't think that. Yeah, he's
And let's go over here. Jason Isaacs' character from The Patriot and or Voldemort. Gotta go Voldemort. I gotta go. I mean, look, as bad as all of the stuff he did is. On a scale,
on a global scale, I get you.
How are we judging these crimes?
All right, next one is
Longshanks versus Calvin Candy.
Oh, Longshanks, I think.
Yeah, I get it.
Wow.
I get it, but also
Prima Dogta. What is it called? What the fuck is it called? Prima Nocta.
And then for me, it's the T-1000 versus the Sauron from Lord of the Rings. I got to go Sauron on a global scale. We're talking about who's the biggest villain. We can't deny the global scale.
So now we're at the final four, bro. Final four
on our what are we calling this? The
antagonist bracket.
Yeah, brackets, baby. We're just doing the antagonist brackets. And you're going to have to take your pick between Longshanks or Commodus. Royalty being shitty in two of your favoritist movies.
And my number one, out of all my favorite movies, the only ones I've ever numbered are number 1 and 2, and my number 1 is Braveheart, and my number 2 is Gladiator. out of that. So anybody who knows me, or maybe if you don't know me, just know that about me. And then the top 5 movies, whatever, get jumbled up, but my number 1 and 2 would never get jumbled up.
Now you
So
have to decide.
I'm gonna stay true to what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Longshanks, man.
Longshanks it is, but
You know why? Because Longshanks did like, I mean, both of them actually existed. Fuck, goddamn, that's a good time source. Okay, I couldn't even verify that. All right.
You are struggling with your choice, so you can't.
It is.
I will give you
It's
a
very
chance
difficult.
to.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You know what? Just go with my gut. Just gotta go with my gut, because I'm not gonna be happy with any choice I make. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna have.
Yeah.
I would have. You know what we should have done? This one should have been left up to you, and I should have been left up to the other one, because the other one is your 2 fucking favorites. So it should have been the other way around. I should have been that's what we should have done, but it is what it is.
Because now we're left with me, the fantasy guy, where I have to choose between Lord Voldemort. I'll say his name. I don't give that bitch any power. I'll say his name. And
but he's gonna be able to find you now. He's gonna be able to find you.
Come at me, you no-nose having bitch. I got you. I will. And Lord Sauron from Lord of the Rings. This is a tough one for me, because they're both like iconic fantasy villains, but one of them is
and they're maniacal, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing: if we're really putting these 2 up to a fight, like that's really what we're talking about here, right? Like if they're really going at it, not just in terms of, like, if we were to pit Voldemort versus Sauron, it's Sauron every time. Sauron,
you think so?
He writes the heavens. He's like a half a god. He's insanely powerful. And now the final
and Voldemort got beat by a child. So
he did. Yeah. Who's gonna get beat by a child?
Yeah. At least not only a child, a baby.
A baby.
Like a fucking baby.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Covered with mother's love. And now look at the final showdown we have. It's 2 villains in crowns.
Wouldn't it be great if the 2 villains would have been like just 2 bankers?
Yeah, literally.
That would have been like the most WuBro. That would have been the most WuBro bracket ever. It would have been just 2 villains in brackets.
Mm-hmm. And here's where we have bracket. I don't know. That's the website. That
Bracketology or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And we have to choose. And I say here's one thing. We should each make an argument.
Sure.
And then we do 3, 2, 1, and then we say our choice out loud. And if we agree, we agree. But we each say something. Are we judging them the criteria based on if it's a fight? Because you could have the Dark Lord Sauron fighting some old man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like in a fight, I don't think it would be, it's a whole thing in a physical fight. I will say, whenever you have a magical being, it's going to be more powerful, right? I mean, it's a whole thing, which might lead to making the argument for Longshanks, because you could say, yeah, that was magical. This guy really fucking existed.
Yeah, that's a powerful statement.
This guy really existed, and those things, although they were dramatized for the movie, he did do those things.
And
like
people,
there's a reason why the English have been the bad guy in every movie.
Yeah.
I think I'm watching The Crown now, by the way. I'm like knee deep in The Crown, like I'm binging The Crown. And I really, as somebody who doesn't follow pop culture news, like relationship news, and I never cared about the monarchy, and I remember we've talked about this when the coronation of Prince Charles, I didn't really care. I fucking hate Prince Charles now more than I did when he was doing the shit that he's doing, because I'm watching The Crown. That's how powerful media is, that I'm not like, fuck Prince Charles. And people are like, where have you been? He's been a king. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So my argument is for Longshanks only, that he really existed, because in reality, not in reality, but it's very easy to, amongst these 2, one of them is fucking literally taking over the world, while the other one in history just took over the known world.
Here's my argument also, because I agree with you, but here's why. In the movies, as the character is acting on the screen and as an antagonist, Sauron is just this eye that kind of looks and fucks with people,
Mm-hmm.
Longshanks is doing some dastardly stuff.
Yeah, and
Right?
planning on it, like not just on the fucking seat of his pants. He's like planning on shit.
But
Like in order to get the troops there, we would have. It takes months, and he's like, "That's why I ordered it 3 months ago after I fucked your wife." And he's like, "God damn,
yeah,
father."
I will say this: as the bracket is a movie villain. As cinematic as Sauron's armies are, Sauron himself is not so cinematic. But Longshanks as a character is the winner for me. I think we got our winner, the ultimate movie antagonist for WuBro. So you'll do this tomorrow, and we'll get a completely different set of brackets. But yeah, the winner is Longshanks. We celebrate his dastardliness here on the What's Up Bro podcast.
And to just to give another shout out. Remember what Michael Scott said that before Phyllis's wedding, he's gonna enact. He's like, I'm gonna enact Prima Nocta, and then Jim was like, Prima Nocta from Braveheart and Wikipedia is.
I love it. Okay,
I love it.
Oh man,
I think we should do a different bracket. Look, that went by, bro. We did it in 45 minutes. We should do a different bracket every week in the month of March. I'm down for that.
Well, we're almost done because I'm going to be out of town next week because I'm going to Mexico. And
they have Wi-Fi in Mexico. Trust me.
They do, but I do not know if I will be free to use that Wi-Fi at the time. Things are scheduled. I'm married now. My time is allotted. I gotta check in with headquarters every now and again.
What is that like? Who would know what that's like?
I don't know.
My wife. All right. Thank you guys, man. Yeah,
this is amazing. Thank you everybody for watching us. We are live. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm not calling it X. YouTube.
I refuse.
Twitch.
I refuse
to call it X. But you can sign up there, and then we will post when we have these things. You can click the subscribe button and click the little bell, do all of the YouTube things. And when our posts go up, we do them ahead of time. You will know when we're on, and you can join in and get in the comments and be a part of the show, much like my mom, who said, yes, it was for a haiku, and my stepmom, who said Clockwork Orange, and I don't remember what the cat face was for or the little hand thing is. But we clearly see that she thinks that Emma Stone is now smaller-eyed because of Botox. But you can be a part of the show and join in the comments. Oh, we lost Neri. But you can be a part of the show and join in the same way that they are, and unload your comments, and we will react to them. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Mike Mercadal. You can follow me at Mike Mercadal. That's Neri Signs.
Neri Signs. At Neri Signs, or my website, whatwashisname.com. My next comedy album is going to be released soon. I have more information on that later, so be on the lookout for that.
Tagged. Thank you all for watching, and let me bring up the music thing here. That's how winning is done.